Hi guys, happy Thursday. Yuck. Happy Thursday. Alright, so my last video was on the Modern Magic book. We were going through the elements. So, how far has anybody gotten? Has anybody done it? I have, so. Alright, so we stopped at exercise 3. Let's see, exercise 3 will spend a period of up to 3 minutes, no more, once a day, imagining that you are the element Earth. Feel the heaviness, the slowness, the coolness, and dryness of Earth. Feel the way that you can absorb the pains and problems of the world, however, do not actually do so. Become the Earth. Do this exercise for at least a week before moving to the next one. So, I've done the exercise for more than a week, and it's scary. The Earth is a scary, scary place. Especially what's happening with it. You can feel it. You can literally feel it weep when you go outside and you put your hands on the ground and you go to earth yourself or ground yourself. It's sad. So, that's what I've taken from the Earth. Sadness. And I can't transform that. So, don't know. So, now exercise 4. Okay, so once you have learned to be Earth, not literally, but be Earth, the next step is to control the element Earth. So how do we actually control the element Earth? So take a moment and imagine yourself to be Earth. Bring the feeling from the previous exercise into your consciousness. Next, fold your hands. Hold your hands 9 to 12 inches apart, palms facing each other. Imagine a bottle or box between your hands. Now as you exhale, visualize all of the earth element which is in you going out with your breath and into the container between your hands. 3 to 5 breaths should be enough to fill it. Then, with 3 breaths, inhale it back into you and go back to normal consciousness. So, alchemy. Lots of alchemy going on. I like it. I like it a lot. So the test. Oh my god, the test. So this will allow you to see whether or not you really have become not only in harmony with the magical element Earth, but also if you are able to control the element. So the next time you feel lightheaded, giddy, unstable, not able to do your work, form the container of Earth as described in exercise 4. Then, once the container of Earth has been formed, with one big inhalation, draw the contents of the container back into you. Within 5 minutes, you should feel stable and grounded. So we're literally grounding ourselves with Earth. We're connecting to Earth. And I think that's a really big thing right now. I honestly do. With everything going on with the Earth, with the hurricanes, the earthquakes, it's very sad. I know people can do their part, people with actual money, and all we can do really is offer prayers, small donations, stuff like that, stuff like this. So it's a good way to kind of help heal the Earth. So, alright, the next time that you feel bloated, overweight, slowed down, etc., again, form the container of Earth. Not only this time, visualize a large hole in the ground and drop the container into that hole. Quickly see the hole close. You should feel lighter in a few minutes, but it may be necessary to repeat this exercise up to 5 times to really feel light, but not, like airheaded and like a complete airhead, bubble-headed bleach blonde. Actually, I got called a bubble-headed bleach blonde bitch by my own mother. It was a joke. It was great stuff. Kinda. It was funny. It was great. So, yeah, and energetic as well. So when you have succeeded at both parts of this test, you will have mastered the element of Earth. However, if you do not succeed, as within a few days or weeks, don't worry about it. Just keep practicing. Remember, initiation is a beginning, not an ending. Initiate. We already went over what initiate means. So initiate, to begin to do something. So, continue with your studies in this course. Do not stop and wait until you your perfect mastery of the element. Be sure to record the results of your magical experiments, whether they be good or bad or indifferent, in your magical diary. So, how does that resonate with you guys? How does the element of earth resonate with you all? So, with that exercise, so we have the element of earth. So that's about 10 to 12 inches apart. So you're gonna breathe in. So I feel all this heaviness and sadness from the earth. All this heaviness, all this sadness, it's so what I just did is I have a giant box in between my hands. In my mind's eye, I can see it. With each breath in, I'm taking all the negativity from myself. It is time for change for myself. And I'm going to blow it right into that container. Now my hands feel very, very heavy. Everything feels very heavy and just kind of out of balance. So I'm gonna let this giant container that literally looks like the earth broken into bits and pieces, jam-packed into one small container or bottle. So I'm just gonna let it drop with my mind's eye. I can see it going into the earth, and back into the earth, back into the soil top layer, all the way down to its core. Core is scary looking. So I can literally feel all the energy in between my hands being pulled. So I'm directing it right into the earth's core to be transformed. So in another alchemical process. Okay, so I always kind of just to kind of shake it off. So that's how I feel about that. So what I did was I sent that energy back, way back down into the center of the earth, the core, so it can transform into something positive instead of all this hatred and negativity that is going around. So it's a very good exercise. It's quick, it's simple. I feel like I have gotten really in touch with the earth, and it's not all good, it's not all bad. It's very, very different. I've got chills now. It's very different. It's very cool. So, a very different kind of exercise. Very different. So when you literally feel I don't feel bubble-headed bleach blonde from that. I feel more stable, grounded. that's pretty much it. It's pretty much it for earth element. So, what else could we do with that? How could we transform all of that into something positive? So what do you guys think? All of you. I think it's incredible. I think it's a really incredible thing that we can actually do that with our consciousness, with our minds. And it's great. It's very great what our minds are capable of, actually, of helping the earth. So, what do you guys plan on doing? You guys plan on doing releasing toxins from your body and just letting it go? Do you plan on... I feel like planting a tree, actually. But not now, obviously. It's fall and it's cold and it wouldn't grow. So that's out of the question for that. So, no trees. Alright, now going back. So, going back to modern magic. I know we have slipped. I have slipped. So part 2. This is part 2. So, if you guys have gone through that exercise of Earth, we can go to part 2. So, part 2. Before starting this part of this lesson, go back and reread the sections on the Kabbalah in the last lesson. If you have not read them for a while, don't be surprised if the material now makes more sense to you than it did at your earlier readings. This is because your mind has the time to digest the information subconsciously and intuitively. Come to an understanding of what was doing described in the last lesson. In fact, there was a good reason to periodically review all of these lessons. So we are going to be looking again at the central glyph of the Kabbalah, the Tree of Life. There are many ways to study the tree, and in this part of the lesson, we are going to look at a few of the ways to analyze the symbol. So we have the 3 pillars of the Tree of Life, which is very cool. This is very interesting. I love this. I love this part. So look at the Tree of Life that you will find on page 87. So if you guys have your books, page 87 is the Tree of Life. You will see that the figure has been divided into 3 large pillars. The pillar on the left is composed of the 3rd, 5th, and 8th seraphim, and is known as the pillar of severity. On the right, the pillar is composed of the 2nd, 4th, and 7th seraphim, being opposite of the pillar on the left. The one on the right is known as the pillar of mercy. Balancing the 2 outer pillars is the middle pillar. It is composed of the 1st, 6th, 9th, and 10th Sephiroth, and is known as pillar of middleness. Middle pillar. Where does that sound familiar? The middle pillar ritual. So, it is interesting to note that the pillar of severity on the left is considered to be female, while the pillar of mercy is considered to be masculine. A reversal of what might be considered to be an archetypal norm. However, if you study Jungian theories of archetypes, you will find that there is a kind, helping, beneficial great mother. So too is there the feminine element which works against you, known as the terrible mother. See, for example, myths of evil older women Hansel and Gretel, and deceptive and powerful younger ones, Cirque. So on page 88 is another version of the Tree of Life. On it, each Sephira, is that how you say that word? Sephira, has its name both in transliterated Hebrew and the English translation of the Hebrew. So, which I think is very cool. Very, very cool. So, compare the 2 versions of the Tree of Life and follow along as the meanings of the pillars are described. So, on page 87, we have a very nice middle pillar. We have the pillar of mercy, and then we have the pillar of whatever the other one was. Severity, pillar of severity, which is on the left. So, the pillar of mercy. The pillar of mercy. To be merciful, we must have the wisdom to see the results of our actions and to realize that victory can come about through wisdom and the ability to endure. Show mercy instead of a short temper, not just through strength alone. So, very, very much easier said than done. A lot easier said than done. So, show mercy instead of being short-tempered. That's very difficult for me. Very difficult. So, the pillar of severity. So, to be severe, we must have an understanding of the laws of the universe and the strength to empower them justly, but never yielding to giving mercy, only justice. This will result in an outward power and splendor which hides the lack of humanity and mercy which resides beneath the surface. So, is that making sense? It's making sense in my mind, finally. So, the pillar of middleness. So, to be mild, we must realize that we live in the kingdom of earth, and we are not gods. Therefore, in whatever we strive for, we must seek a foundation of beauty by trying to avoid the extremes of over-severity and too much mercy. In this way, we can seek to crown our efforts with success. So, I've already gone back and I've already reread the Kabbalah. Just what he's put in his book on the Kabbalah. And it's making a lot of sense. It's really making a lot of sense. The pillars, the middle pillar, the pillar of severity, and the pillar of mercy. It just makes sense to me now. In my mind, in my being, I can feel it, and it's incredible. It is seriously incredible. So, how are we going to transform our lives and make them more powerful and empowered and enlightened and just all the amazing stuff that comes through us co-creating our universe with God or Goddess, Spirit, Source, whatever name you want to place on Source. So, okay, thus, here is one way to understand the tree of life. By the system of the three pillars, if we are not successful in our efforts toward achieving any particular goal, we can see where we are unbalanced. So, an example, focus toward one side of the tree. We can then seek to add some of the balancing characteristics from the opposite side of the tree. The result moves us to the center, toward the pillar of the middleness, which could be called the pillar of true manifestation. How awesome. How amazing is that when it all comes together and it all makes sense for once. It all makes sense. Just opening this book and having it, just seeing the images, it just brings me just so much peace. So much peace. Alright, so I think that is a very cool tool that we can actually use, and we can utilize that in our workings. And I will actually do a blog, and I will post this. If you guys have your books, you know where to find it. So that will actually show you how to balance out different things in your life, imbalances, injustices, etc. It's amazing. So now we have three triangles. We have the three triangles. So the next system of looking at the tree is known as the three triangles. So as can be seen from the diagram on page 90. So if you guys have your books, page 90 is the diagram of the three circles, or the triangles. The tree of life can be divided into three triangles, the top one pointing upwards and the other two pointing downwards. The celestial triangle. The uppermost triangle, composed of the first three Sephiroth, is known as the celestial triangle. It starts at single point, which means that it comes from the unity of God and divides into two sides. So, your pointing down triangle, just like your pointing down pentagram. If you have an inverted pentagram, it's not satanic, it's not evil, it's not devil worship. Every single faith puts that symbol in their practices. All of them do. Every single one. So, all it does is represent spirit, source, God, whatever you want to call it, Lucifer, Satan, bringing down divine energy. That is what that represents. Divine energy coming down and manifesting in the human body. That's all it means. How incredible. So, alright, this shows that although divinity is a unity, everything which manifests can be seen in the form of duality. Male and female, up and down, in and out, hot and cold, etc. It is one of the duties of the magician to learn to overcome everything which seems to be in opposition in order to achieve unity with divinity. This is an ancient secret of the Kabbalah and is understood by the Tantrics. It will be discussed in a later lesson. Okay, so as an example, the magician must learn that day is not opposite to night, but rather both day and night are a natural part of the earth spinning on its axis. Also, it is in this uppermost triangle that we can see those qualities of being who are truly celestial in nature. They have wisdom and understanding, thus they are capable of wearing the crown of creation and rule both the visible, physical world and the higher planes of existence. So that gives a whole different meaning to the triangles pointing down or up, or the pentagrams pointing down or up. So think about that. Think about the inverted pentagram. Not evil. Not evil. I like it. Also, it is in this upper right. Excuse me. Oh, I already read all that. So, okay, the moral triangle. The middle triangle, which points down, is called the moral triangle. Excuse me. A combination of strength and mercy results in the development of beauty. If we have too much mercy, we become weak and unable to complete our goals. People take advantage of us and we die young. On the other hand, if we show only strength and are totally unmerciful, we might actually be able to achieve our goals. Although never without difficulty. Never. So, but we will have no friends, and we will have no real love, and our success becomes meaningless. By developing strength and mercy, we exhibit a beauty which aids us in achieving all of our goals and gives us happiness in what we do achieve. So, that's interesting. That's some very interesting stuff. So, okay, now we have the mundane triangle. This is the lowest triangle that is called the mundane triangle. It is an apt name. So, it concerns physical plane success only, not mental and spiritual. Ones are found in the moral and celestial triangles. Here, a victory followed by too much mercy leads to defeat, while the splendor of the victory, if not tempered with mercy, leads to revolution and ruin. When balanced, a foundation to success in this world exists, and a kingdom, as represented by the 1 Sephirah hanging pendant, 2 the 3 triangles may be found. So here is the triangle, the circles and the triangles pointing up and down. Good stuff. Good stuff. So, alright, as you can see, each system of undertaking the tree of life helps to explain the other systems. So go back for a second and look at the diagram of 3 pillars. We can say that the path of a mystic or yogi, whose intent is to rejoin the divine at Keter, the 1st Sephirah, follows the middle pillar. This path is sometimes known as the path of the arrow, is like the path an arrow flies if pointed straight up from Malkut to Keter. The yogi sits in meditation until he or she can simply hop from the lowest to the highest. Now looking at a full diagram of the tree of life, you can understand that the path of a magician leads from Sephirah to Sephirah, going through and learning about each one while also covering each of the connecting 22 paths, winding about it like a snake. In fact, the path of the magician is sometimes known as the path of the serpent. I love it. I love that. So, at each Sephirah, on each of the connecting paths, the magician learns new things. and has exciting experiences with the mystic or yogi you will never know. The yogi mercifully sits until ready to make the jump. The magician takes a I don't even know that fucking word, circuitous route. Each can achieve the goal of unity with divinity. White magic in the same amount of time it is their own determination and abilities which speed or delay the coming of unity, or nirvana, or the ultimate mystical ecstasy, the knowledge and conversation of your holy guardian angel. Have any of you ever experienced your holy guardian angel? Ever? No? Maybe? So I like to use an understanding of the three triangles as a basis of psychology. Here we go. So, by understanding which sephira is a person is at, I recommend what the person needs to do for improvement. If, for example, a person always finds himself or herself being taken advantage of, I believe that person to be in the sephira hesed, number 4, mercy. That person needs to develop more inner strength and enough to say no to someone who is trying to take advantage. Then, instead of being the person everyone thinks of as being the one to take advantage of, people will be able to learn for the first time what he or she thinks about, cares about, and wants to do. So this is for people that I could take advantage of a lot. So that is something that rings very true to me. Very true to me. So, alright, where did I go? So that these people will eventually see this person for the beautiful entity that this person is. How amazing is that? So, balancing all of these different qualities from the middle 3 pillars, the circles, the sephiras, all of it, each path, climbing up the tree from the bottom to the top. So, the 4 worlds. Another method of looking at the tree is called the method of the 4 worlds. Look at the diagram on page 92, showing one of the systems of understanding the 4 worlds. So, 92, if you guys have that, you have your diagram. So, well, here is the diagram of this one. That's one diagram. So those are the triangles, the celestial triangle, the moral triangle, and the mundane one. So, where'd I go? So, dividing lines which have been drawn between the triangles as previously described. Thus, each triangle and the single 10th sephira represents a world. A world. The topmost triangle, composed of the first, second, and third seraph, is known as Ha'olam Atzilut, which means the world of archetypes or emanations. It is the divine world wherein exists the thoughts of God. It is in this world that the aspects of the powers of God, as represented by the names of God, are said to exist. So, the middle triangle, composed of the 4th, 5th, and 6th sephirah, is known as Ha'olam Bri'ah, which means world of creation. It is not yet real in the physical sense. It is far more of the conscious mind. It is this world that the archangels are said to exist. So, we're kind of learning where different entities come from, where they live, archangels, thought forms. You know where I'm going with that. Oh, I love it. So, the middle triangle, composed of the 4th, 5th, and 6th seraph. Oh, I already read that to you. So, the bottommost triangle is formed of the 7th, 8th, and 9th seraph, and known as Ha'olam Yetzirah, or the world of formation. It is considered by some to be equal of or to the astral plane, which is the basis for everything that exists in the physical universe. That is where all the negative astral nasties are. Right there at the very bottom. Right here, written in bold black letters. From a magician, that has so much more knowledge than many people on this planet that write stories. stories. So, where did I go? Oh, so it is in this world that the various orders, quote-unquote orders, of angels are said to exist. So, now, the 10th Sephirah in this system is known as Ha'olam, Asiyah, the world of action. It is the world wherein the four elements and hence the physical universe exist and wherein the physical action can occur. So, what do these four worlds do? There's your diagram. Tree of life. It's making so much more sense. So, but what do these what good does this four world system do? So, let us assume that God wishes to create a universe. The first thing God would need to do is perceive the need for something. Here God is operating in the world of Absolute. Next, God would see that a universe composed of air, earth, fire, and water, and living things was necessary. Here God would be operating in the world of Birah. Next, God would begin doing whatever was necessary to create the universe. Here God would be operating in the world of Yetzirah. Finally, God would put life and action into the formed parts of the universe and would be operating in the world of Asiyah. So, how does this apply to us? You'll see. Jesus. So let us say that you need something to hold your papers when doing a ritual. So, you need and therefore are in the world of Absolute. Next, you begin to visualize it. It is made of wood, higher in the back than in the front, so that the papers are at a nice angle. I always like all my papers organized nicely. And there is a ledge at the bottom of the front so that the papers do not slide off. Here you are in the world of Briya. Now, the papers do not slide off. Here you are in the world of Briya. Now that you go out and buy the wood, cut it to size, assemble the stand, and finish it with an attractive and appropriate paint job. Here you are in the world of formation. Ha'olam. That's the world of creation. Yetzirah. Finally, you put it to use, and you are operating in the world of Asiyah. If you have even desired anything, but have not been able to bring it into your own even desired world, if you haven't been able to bring it into your own world, then it is most likely that you have overlooked the importance of one of the four worlds. So, we will learn more about the process of bringing things into our lives, gray magic, in later lessons. So, as stated earlier, the Kabbalah has changed over time and has been a static, unchanging system. There are other versions of the four worlds, of course. There's always 3,000 versions of one thing. So one system holds that the division of the four worlds should show only the topmost Sephirah, Keter, or Ketcher, as being in the first world. The next two Sephiroth are in the second world. Sephiroth 4 through 9 make up the third world of Yetzirah, and the fourth world is made up only of the final Sephirah, Malkut. So, another system holds that there is a full tree of life within each Sephirah on the tree of life. Thus, there would be 100 Sephiroth to deal with. You could have Keter in Keter, Hakma in Keter, and up to 10 different Seraph in each Sephirah. Which, well, with this system, the worlds get quite complicated. So, that is it for that one. So this is the creation worlds. So those are the four worlds right there. So if you guys have your books, so it kind of falls into my co-creating your own universe, your life, bringing all this amazingness to life. Everything that you need already inside you. It's all already inside you. So, another system puts 4 trees of life on top of each other, with each tree representing a world. So, in this system there are 40 Sephiroth. Finally, another system says that there are There is a full tree of life within each of the 40 Sephiroth, for a total of 400 Sephiroth. Although going into detail on the meaning of this last system is way too far advanced and complicated for this course, so you might wish to spend some time contemplating the different worlds and the various ideas of trees of life with the Sephiroth. So, that is where I'm stopping today. So, we have covered quite a bit of the pillars, the worlds, where astral stuff lies, how to create, how to co-create. We're not gods, which is, magicians are not gods. We have done, well, I have done, the becoming one with the earth, so learn to be earth. I've obviously learned to be earth, oh my god. So, we will stop there, and then we will go on to meditation with these worlds, with the Tree of Life. So, that's some very interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff. So, if you guys want, you can go back and you can reread about the Kabbalah, which is in, let's see, it's in the first chapter. So yes, I have bookmarks everywhere in this book, so amazing. Amazing stuff. So, I think it's going to be great. So, co-creating all of our worlds and just having everything amazing and just really getting things going for a better life for all of us. And we can do it. So I think a lot of us have recently woken up quite a bit. A lot of us have woken up to what is going on in this world, and we know things need to change. So it can't change unless we do. So we have to face ourselves, our inner demons, transform them into positive, pure alchemy. So those are my thoughts from the book, my little snippets of my 2 cents, if it's worth anything. So, what do you guys think? Let me know. Comments down below. And I hope you guys enjoy. I know it was kind of difficult to grasp for some people. It is very difficult to grasp. I mean, I obviously don't grasp all of it at all until we die. That's when we get to grasp everything. And then we don't even do that, so who knows? Who knows? Alright guys, I love you all very much. And thank you guys so much for watching and just being here. You guys really make my day so much better, so you do. I love you guys with all my heart. So, all my love to you guys from Venus, my home. Take me home, I'm ready. Come on, Venus. All the way back down to you guys. So, I will see you all tomorrow, and I hope you guys have a great day. So, I love you all very much.